Hello friends, and welcome to Steph's Pointe, the channel dedicated to all things dance and acrobatics. Today we are talking all about balance. This video is designed to explain all the things that go into having good balance and to help you kind of see what's going on in your own body, in your own training, that's maybe holding you back from getting better at balancing. Everyone wants better balance, man. We want to get those multiple pirouettes, be able to hold one-footed releves forever, and just have better control in our dancing ability. So make sure you stick around and listen to all 5 things so that you can take control of your dance training and become a master of balance. And I know you're wondering, so I'll just let you know, I do. I have my kitty cat socks on today, and we're gonna get started right now. There are 5 major things that contribute to having better balance. They are all equally important to your ability to balance. So this list is not in order from like greatest to worst or worst to greatest. These are all 5 important things, and you need to understand all of them in order to truly control your training and your dance ability. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is having strong ankles. Ankle stability is extremely important, and especially having a very high releve. You need your ankle to be stacked up over the ball of your foot in order to truly find balance and control. Why, you ask? Well, physics. Gravity pulls down on your body from your head all the way through your feet. If your heel is stacked up directly over the ball of your foot, then gravity will pull the entire weight of your body down through that center point. However, if your heel is back, if it's not quite over the ball of your foot, if it's slightly off, then gravity will be pulling the entire weight of your body down through your heel, causing you to be off balance and forcing your body to want to fall backwards. Same thing goes if you're rolling out towards your pinky toe. That ankle instability is going to cause your weight to shift over to the right or to the left and make you lose your balance. So it's important to have strong, stable ankles stacked directly over the ball of your foot. Think about a spinning top. If you put a sticker on one side of a top or a weight on one side, if it's not perfectly balanced, it will spin when you spin it, but it'll quickly lose control and fall over to the side that's heavier. Whereas if the spinning top is stable, then you spin it and it'll continue to spin until the force that you spun it with runs out. So your body's the same way. If you can find perfect alignment and line your body up over the ball of your foot, then you will be able to spin for a lot longer. Gravity will be working with you instead of against you. So how can you tell if this is an issue for you? It's super simple. When you go on releve, check out the alignment of your ankle. Is your ankle stacked over the ball of your foot, or is it slightly back? When you push it over the ball of your foot, are you able to maintain a straight knee, or do you have to bend your knee in order to get that far distance? And are you rolling out to your pinky toe? Is your ankle shifting around? These are all questions to ask yourself to see if this is an issue for you. Well, how do you improve it? Easy enough. You just practice doing ankle stability exercises and incorporate ankle stability exercises into your weekly dance training. I've created 2 entire videos dedicated to this topic, so if you want to learn more about it, click one of those videos in the description below after this video is finished. The second thing contributing to your balance ability is a strong core. Now I know what you're saying. Everyone talks about this all the time. You gotta have strong abs to turn or to balance. Well, duh. But I'm not just talking about your abs. A common misconception is that abs give you balance, but your core is actually made up of both your front and your back. So you need your ab strength, but you also need strong back muscles in order to have a stable and controlled core to keep your body in alignment. Let's get a little sciencey here for a second. Your abs are actually made up of 3 different muscle groups: The first one is your rectus abdominis, and that's kind of like the six-pack abs that people always talk about. They run across and up and down, and they're in charge of flexion. So when you do crunches and you're lifting your torso, flexing your abs in and open, you're working your rectus abdominis. The second muscle group are your obliques. Your obliques run from your rib cage and wrap down into your torso. And your obliques are in charge of twisting motion. So anytime you're spiraling, doing Russian twists, or moving from side to side, you're actually engaging your oblique muscles. And the third muscle group in your abdominals is your transverse abdominis. And your transverse abdominis is kind of like a sheet of muscle that wraps around your whole torso. And that muscle group is what is in charge of helping you balance. So when people talk about having a strong core and they talk about doing crunches to get better at pirouettes, it's actually not true. Crunches don't necessarily help you get a strong core for pirouettes. They might help you get closer to getting a nice six-pack, but they're not necessarily going to help you with your balance. To help you with your balance, you need to engage your transverse abdominis and also your back. There are many ways to tell if you have weakness in your core, but it's good to assume that everyone could use stronger core muscles. Stronger core muscles are going to help you in all of your dance skills, and I always recommend incorporating more training for your core into your routines. So how do you do this? Well, for your back muscles, you can do things like trunk lifts or Superman holds, and for your transverse abdominis, you want to do things like pike holds, planks, things that are stabilizing your core and forcing your core to hold and engage into positions that require some balance, not so much the flexing of crunches and the flexing of leg lifts. Holding poses, holding hard positions is the best way to train your transverse abdominis. And if you want to follow along with a video that has tons of pirouette focused abdominal exercises, I created a 10-minute dancer abs, and it'll be linked in the description below. The third very important thing to helping you balance is having strong glute muscles, and particularly your glute medius, or what your ballet teacher often refers to as your rotators. These muscles are in charge of rotating your hips and also keeping your pelvis in alignment. So how do you spot if you have weak rotators or weak glute med? Well, if you notice that your back is constantly swayed, or your pelvis is tilting forward, or that you have trouble lengthening through your knee when you're on releve, these are all signs that you might have weaker glutes. And strengthening your glutes is very simple. You can incorporate some glute strengthening exercises like the ones in the video I linked in the description below. Or you can just focus on activating your glutes when you're doing all of your dance skills. So even when you're standing, preparing to do your warm-ups, getting ready for class, check in, make sure your pelvis is lifted, your belly button is pulling towards your rib cage, and you're engaging your glutes. Not squeezing your glutes, but simply engaging them and activating them to pull your body up and lifting through the kneecaps to have a strong, stable stance throughout your entire dance practice. The fourth important thing, and is probably one of the most important, is to have good muscle memory. Muscle memory is the amazing thing that our body does when we've practiced something so many times that we don't even have to think about it anymore. Our body just does it for us like magic. Like when you've taken so many ballet classes that your feet just point every time they leave the floor flawlessly without you having to even think. That is muscle memory, and we really want to tap into that and use it to our advantage in our dance training. And of course, you just do this by practicing. But honestly, I can't stand the phrase, practice makes perfect. Practice does not make perfect. I promise you that if you practice doing the laziest drills or go through class just practicing your skills without actually focusing or giving all your energy, ensuring that you're doing things correctly, you are going to make no progress and definitely not going to get near perfection. You have to have mindful, intentional practice and focus your energy when you're practicing your skills in order to make progress. So I always like to say that perfect practice makes progress, not practice makes perfect. You have to practice with intention in order to make progress. And if you want to practice some great dance drills that drill your ability to balance, you can check out the video in the description below where I take you through a bunch of my favorite dance drills. The fifth and final thing that contributes to your balance is progressive overload. Now you're probably like, what is that? Well, progressive overload is actually a term that's used in weight training primarily, but I always use it in my dance classes to explain what it means to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. So progressive overload basically means to progressively increase the amount of stress or intensity or difficulty that you're putting on a particular muscle group in order to force that muscle to grow. And in dance, this means pretty much trying harder things. So once you've mastered the basics of balancing and you're really good at doing your dance drills, I highly recommend that you try newer, harder things to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, to push your body past where it already is and continue to improve. We do this all the time without thinking about it. Like we go from a single pirouette to a double pirouette to a triple pirouette. That's progressive overload. If you want to try out some really difficult but also mindful skills and drills to improve your balance, I created a video for my more advanced dancers to push past their limits a little bit and try out some new things that will further their ability to control and hold their balance. And that will be linked in the description below with all the other videos that I mentioned in this video. And well, that's it. Those are the 5 things that contribute the most to your balancing. You have ankle stability, core stability, glute strength, muscle memory, and progressive overload. If you can pay attention, tap into these 5 things and really focus on them, you will find that you will grow so much in your ability to balance, in your ability to control your body, to pull off those multiple pirouettes, and to take your dancing to the next level. Well, I hope you guys found this video super helpful and you walk away from it with a better understanding of how balancing actually works and how you can focus your training to improve your balance. Remember, balance is something that you create. It's something that you have the power to create. It's not something that's just gonna magically show up one day or that you're gonna find by continuing to practice in the same way that you've always done it. So, if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that you get notified when I post the next one. I would love to hear what your top takeaway is from this video. What did you learn or realize in listening to these 5 things, and how are you gonna go forward and push yourself to the next level by focusing on one of these key areas in your balance ability? And with that, I will talk to you guys and see you next time. Bye-bye.